Well, hello, welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and we're back on another episode. But this time, there's a slight change. I don't know if you have noticed it. There's a slight change in the show that some of you already know. I made a notification on X last Friday, and also on YouTube, that one tiny thing. This what does it say here? It's no longer the body language guy show. You know, things change really fast these days. You need to adapt to the eras, and now is the Jesus Enrique Rosas show. We're gonna keep the numbering. Today is episode 16, but many reasons about this. So many topics that I touch in my show. Today is going to be a quite longish show, so buckle up. By the way, I wanted to do live streams on the weekend. I was not feeling that well, and at the same time, I was handling some technical details. Again, as usual, you know that the idea is to bring you the best entertainment and in the internet, if that is possible. And right now I decided to switch this all the way. So you're still my body language buddies. You know that you are. But right now it's going to be called the Jesus Enrique Rosas show from now on. So make sure that you will learn how to pronounce your R's and R's, the R's. I can teach you. It's easy. It took me only 10 years and a lot of bullying to say my name properly myself. So that is something that is going to change. Jesus Enrique Rosas show, and we are about to begin right now. Thank you for coming back. Remember that all your super chats and super stickers I will be reading at the end of the show or throughout, maybe in a pause. What this show is about is a lot of things. We got a lot of stuff going on. The first one we need to address. Stop blaming celebrity endorsement for Kamala Harris' loss, says Variety. Since when we pay attention to Variety? Only to mock them. You know, when it comes to mocking, Variety is the way, is one of the outlets that we say, okay, we are not going to take them seriously, much less in this scenario. We need to hear from artists now more than ever. How does that work? How did that? I have a huge list. I think it was Deadline who published like a list of 50, 60 celebrities, or all the celebrities, like 100, I don't know, who supported or endorsed Kamala. And we need to talk about that as well, because that did not work. And what's more, Kamala Harris' former communications director has proposed that Biden step down within 30 days, allowing Harris to temporarily assume the presidency as a symbolic gesture. That is in bad taste. That is a bit, I don't know, that would be sour. That is not an actual win. That is not an actual win. That would be quite comical, in fact. And yes, we did it, Joe. We have absolutely, you know, when we say we have no proof, but no doubts either, that Biden, seeing that all that the Democratic Party did to him after all these years, after all the things that he did for the Democratic Party, and how much he worked, like how many years, Joe? How many years? It was like 50 years or something or more. And they tried to discard him, and well, he got his vengeance. And it's so funny when we talk about celebrities and endorsement that the reactions, we will still have body language in here. I'm still the body language guy, make no mistake. And well, this is the most sincere Biden smile I've ever seen. We see Nancy Pelosi pressing those lips, almost disappearing, non-existent, with that, you know, it's like sweet. This also Jimmy Kimmel also had a very nice analysis of him, but he's His eyes are so teary. Teen Walz has a different lip pressing, and when the lips are like turning inside the mouth, it's also a bit of it's a bit of anger as well. You see that you also have AOC. She's pressing the lips in there. We have analyzed all of them. Maybe Obama was trying to, well, keep it a bit more softer. But Joe, we did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. We did it. Joe knows what he did. You little rascal, you know what you did. And now, the issue is that after spending $1 billion, that is $1 billion with a B, $1 billion on Kamala Harris' campaign, they are $20 million in the red, and they are asking for money. This is, if you are subscribed to Kamala Harris, or if you are still subscribed to Kamala Harris' campaign, which I would be a bit masochistic on your side, but again, I am not going to judge. First and foremost, we want to acknowledge the fear, confusion, and sadness many of you are feeling at this moment. Oh boy, we're going to be talking about that as well. For others, you may be looking for something meaningful and important to channel your emotions towards, besides you staring at the wall and screaming at your screen and scaring your cat because, well, Donald Trump is the 47th president. If that's you, then we're asking you to make a donation to the Democratic Party today. No, not to homeless people, not to veterans. Happy Veterans Day, by the way. Thank you for your service, ladies and gentlemen of the U.S. forces. We'll be talking about Remembrance Day in the UK as well. But no, we're asking you to make a donation to the Democratic Party because, well, they essentially ran out of money and they need to pay people. One thing that we need to understand is that all these celebrities, as far as I understand, I don't know if all of them, I don't want to get into trouble, but if not all of them, most of them needed some kind of mullah to endorse Kamala Harris. It's like there was a check involved. In fact, there's some rumors that Alanis Morissette was about to endorse Kamala Harris, but the check did not clear. All of this is allegedly. I don't have confirmation of this. But makes you think about the way that this campaign spent all that money, $1 billion. John Hassan, oh my gosh, Kamala spent 6 figures just building the set, the environment for her appearance on Call Her Daddy. It was like 100. And say that it was $100,000. How do you spend $100,000 in this? This is how you spend so much money in that. You go to IKEA and you spend like $40 and you're selling everything. You have the rug and these chairs, $40. Just like Ted. You remember Ted? Yeah, it's like he could. Yeah, $40. Maybe not $40, but maybe you got the idea. $100,000 for what? Because this lady, the one who was interviewing her, had to fly to wherever Kamala was, and then they couldn't just go to a studio or something. No, they had to transform a hotel room into this. And I mean, why? What was the result? The result was very lame. I remember that when it was published only one clip on YouTube. I think it did not reach not even 200,000 views, if I remember correctly. But Donald Trump, this post, that I follow Donald Trump on Truth Social, and sometimes there are accounts on X that repeat those posts on X, so you can be aware. Maybe you don't want to download Truth Social and you don't want any more social media. We will be talking about Facebook as well. I need to talk a couple things about Facebook. I am very surprised that the Democrats, who fought a hard and valiant fight, let me adjust my camera, in the 2020 presidential election, raising a record amount of money, didn't have lots of money left over. Now they are being squeezed by vendors and others. Whatever we can do to help them during this difficult period, I would strongly recommend we, as a party and for the sake of desperately needed unity, do. Some people were saying, we're a bit confused about this. Is he trolling? Well, the unity part, he is not trolling in the least. Unity is something that is desperately needed in the United States. I have already talked about this. Donald Trump knows this. With the current division, and the division is, of course, has been pushed by the Democrats, by liberals, by the mainstream media to just treat anyone who has a MAGA hat as subhumans. Well, we need unity, and the unity has to start, of course, from the winning side. Something that we understand. But giving money to the Democrats? No. It's something like, I don't know, I have... Maybe he has other ideas. We have a lot of money left over in that our biggest asset in the campaign was earned media. And that doesn't cost very much. Make America great again. There are a couple of things about this. There was a very funny meme from the right to bear memes. The right to bear memes. Trump when he sees Kamala walk into the room. And this was so funny. This is Trump when he sees Kamala walk into the room. Oh my God, I'm going to give her some cash because, you know, this is the right thing to do. You think about it. Gonna give Kamala a bit of that mola. She needs the dosh. You know, wait until she arrives. But why do they need money? Why would they need money? And this is something that some of you are already mentioning in the comments. I mean, if the Democrats need, or Kamala Harris campaign, and let's be very specific, Kamala Harris campaign needs $20 million to break even in all those debts that she has with her vendors. Why doesn't Oprah just lend her or something? I don't know, give her the money. Oprah is a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. What is 20 million to her? And she was supporting Kamala. Well, it so happens, I mean, I have not confirmed this again, but I would not be surprised that, you know, for terms of logistics and all the people that she had to pay for, and Oprah was asking for $1 million to endorse Kamala. You remember that endorsement, right? That they did this kind of town hall that went so bad. In many ways, they had this scripted questions, and not even that way Kamala could go along. And in that regard, I think that it is so funny that these people preach, you know, socialism, equality for all, DEI, inclusion, all that stuff. But in the end, they are the most capitalist of all. I will not endorse my favorite, you know, my presidential candidate for free. No, I'm going to ask for money. That's what we know so far. Why did Oprah require $1 million to endorse Kamala? I don't understand. And other questions. Why would Oprah need a measly $1 million for anything? Why would Oprah require $1 million? I could say that maybe she had to pay for personnel to whatever she did. Maybe she did not ask the million for herself. But if you're endorsing someone, it's like Bill Gates, who effectively gave $50 million to Kamala's campaign. Maybe Bill Gates could give 20 more million. That's not something that is going to harm him. And the Grumpy Patriot, if a celebrity is paid to endorse a candidate, very good question. Is it really an endorsement, or is it just a paid performance? And that's when we begin to see phenomena like this. Bryan Cranston, you remember Bryan from Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle, legendary series, especially Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston keeps us hanging after being asked if he'll keep to his pledge to leave the USA with Tom Hanks after President Trump's re-election. No, they're not gonna leave the United States. They are not going anywhere. Who are you fooling? They're not going anywhere. It's just all for... I think it was Kathy Griffin, who was coming out as well and say, no, I am not leaving the United States. We knew, and I'm pretty sure that Bono is not running with his car off a cliff. Okay, it's not a sane thing to do. What kind of example are you giving to, well, anybody who pays attention to Bono, which is quite a small fraction of the population, but still a fraction of the population who pays attention to Bono? That would not be a great example. And we also have Mark Cuban. Remember Mark Cuban? He has officially scrubbed all his Kamala tweets. He deleted his tweets, all regarding the elections, everything. That is a bit of lame, right? Sometimes you can delete your tweets if you no longer agree with what you said. But he was so vocal, and there were so many clips and interviews out there that there were no mistake that he was invested in it. I think his numbers suggested that Kamala was going to win. But man, you should own it. It's like deleting the tweets. It's really bad optics. Mark Cuban on his X account after Kamala lost, that was from Politerican. Yeah, there was a very good meme. It's just deleting everything. Delete everything. This is the current state, and people just like George Clooney. George Clooney taking a step back from politics after being made a scapegoat for Kamala Harris' loss. This was worse for George than Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin. It is, man, you need to move on and just stay out of politics. It's easier. This is not something that you can just switch on and off. You have to go all in, or you are either in or you're out. And whatever you promise, if you promise, I think that George did not promise it, to leave the United States if Trump wins, well, you should stick to your word. At least that is the very least thing that you should do, because you already lost. It's not that you lost your credibility by endorsing Kamala Harris. That is okay. Nobody is complaining that, especially if she paid you for it. That is well-earned money. But it's the thing that it's like Harrison Ford. You remember Harrison Ford, that the creepy video that he made? Is that they say so many inconsistencies. They say so many stupid things on those videos that can be easily disproven. They repeat the lies. They repeat the hoaxes. They lose all credibility. It's not that we need credibility nowadays to go to the cinema. We don't really care about, these people's lives. It's like I told you many times, maybe you don't like Donald Trump, but you know that he's the right one for the job. Maybe we don't like George Clooney's or Harrison Ford's political decisions, but they are pretty good actors. I remember from George Clooney, Michael Clayton. Michael Clayton is the movie. I love that movie, by the way. And Harrison Ford is still a legend, and he's going to be a legend no matter what he says. So they are the right guys for the acting job, even if we don't agree with their stance. But they would at least have some kind of credibility left. Have a nice example, set a nice example, and do the right thing. If you say that you're going to leave the United States, you just go away. And well, I think that Kamala is relieved. I told you many times, I had the idea in all those interviews, like the CNN interview. It was the first interview I analyzed. I will still be doing body language analysis in standalone videos, or maybe in this show. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but body language will stay no matter what happens. But I had the idea that Kamala Harris did not want to be there. She didn't want to be the candidate. She didn't want to run for president. And now we know, it's not that we know, that we have certain clues That is that Biden made sure to endorse her just a few hours after his resigned. You know that signature was not Biden. Someone else resigned for him. So he endorsed Kamala Harris, and she was out there, and all the time that Barack Obama took to endorse her, that is suspicious. So my guess is that was not in her plans. That was not in her plans. And now we see her relieved, happy. I'm really, I told you many times, I don't have anything personal. I never had anything personal with Kamala. It's great to see her that happy with her nieces. It'll be great with her sweater, but it would have been nice to, hide the white wine glass, put that away before taking the picture. It's something that is, a bit of bad optics. You're playing with your nieces, and you know what I say. It's important, that kind of details, but no, I don't know what you think about this. The good news, we have good news, is that, well, it seems that Kamala Harris supporters have shaved their heads, made blue bracelets, and will be wearing masks so they can easily identify each other. That is great. That is great. So if you see a woman who is, has all these three ingredients, because they have to have all three, not to confuse some people. Some women like blue bracelets for no reasons, and they're not gonna stop doing that. Some women lose their hair because of alopecia or cancer treatment, so it's not that safe to identify Kamala's fans for that. And the mask, well, someone could still wear a mask because they are immunocompromised. That is a possibility as well. But if you see all three, especially the blue bracelet, all right, that is something that is, you could just at least just refrain from bringing up the politics and maybe take off your MAGA hat. That would be a good idea as well. It seems that MAGA hats are being spotted everywhere, where people never believed they're gonna be spotting them, and we now see how many days has Biden been on vacation? How many days has Biden been on vacation? I would like to know. Let me see. I'm gonna mute this because we don't need the sound of Biden prancing on the sand. He can. You can do it, Joe. You can do it. You destroyed your party. Good job. And you can beat the sand. You can beat the sand. You can beat the sand, man. I believe in you. Yeah, there you go. That's nice. Go enjoy the sand. You deserve it. You deserve it, man. You deserve it. Meanwhile, we have no shortage of reaction. In this case, I need to torture you a little. We're going to be using sound for this. Gwen Walz appears unhinged as she claps like a seal as she speaks for the first time since her husband's failed vice presidential bid. We cannot and we will not give up this fight. Man, I would say, why are you doing this? A vacation. Take some days off. You can do it.
I'm not sure if you heard me.
We have heard you so many times. I lost count. I analyzed like a total like 2 minutes of you in the past 3 months, and I think that is 2 minutes over my tolerance of your videos. But here we are.
We cannot and we will not give up this fight.
Okay, at least she speaks in a way that everyone, even if you don't understand English, you can understand what she says.
That's right, come on! Come on! That's right, we cannot and we will not give up this fight!
But the actual villain here is whoever makes that sound.
That's right.
That's white.
All right, you can sit down now.
It's like she likes that power. She likes that power. You know, there's so many things that we could say about the left, and I'm sure that this is gonna be 4 years of all the memes. I don't have to make memes. There's so many memes out there, and you know what's funnier? That sometimes the left makes memes, liberals make memes, and they are not funny like at all, or they do the exact opposite. It's like that song, they're eating the dogs eating the cats, not the one who was trending, but the one who was seized, one guy that tried to use it against Trump, and it was so catchy that the MAGA community just went on with that song. In this case, Stone Tossers, this is not from Stone Tossers, but they're sharing this. I don't know who is the artist. I don't know if there's the signature just in case, so we can have proper appropriation. I don't know. I don't remember the word right now, but this is they are expecting this to be bad against Trump. This is Lady Liberty herself, as in freedom and democracy in some way, defeating Kamala and the Democratic Party, and Trump saying, "Hey, just finish that." How is that funny? You think that is what actually happened? In fact, that is what actually happened. And if they did this cartoon or something before the elections, it is not. It doesn't make sense. By the way, there's Elon right there, and with very short arms. I don't know why does he have. And there's a special guest. I know that you can recognize him right there. Special guest to the right of Trump. But how do they think this is an own of Trump? This is what actually happened. And if Trump won the elections, this is what actually was going to, Lady Liberty destroyed the Democrat Party. But in fact, I think the Democrat Party destroyed themselves. I've said it. Maybe I will make that commentary afterwards, with the help of Biden, of course. And it's a good thing that Ella Emhoff, that Kamala's stepdaughter, there were reports that she has this mental breakdown. Those reports turned out to be false. She was saying that, Ella was saying that all those reports were false. Thank God we don't want any more mental breakdowns. I don't wish mental breakdowns on anybody. I wish that everybody who lost in these elections could, deal with it in a mature way, in an adult way. That is something that we all wish for. You only say, well, it's going to be 4 years of Trump. No big deal. The world's not going to collapse. The sky is not going to fall. No mental breakdowns. We know, we have seen the result. And the videos that I've shown you go from cringe to pathetic to borderline dangerous. But at least Ella is doing fine. And she posts new video showing off her sock collection one day after denying she was suffering a mental breakdown over Kamala Harris' loss. That is good. Good to know that nothing has happened to her. So let's see her sock collection. Nice. All right. There's the first one. Very little juicy. There's an 8-ball. If you like 8 balls, maybe Kamala Harris. Maybe Kamala gifted her the socks with an 8-ball. Maybe she likes pool, or she's fancy of 8 balls. I don't know. So does that have a meaning? But moving forward. Oh, those are like what? Some kind of what? It's like some black bears. What is that they say about If they're brown, if they're black, fight back. If they're black, fight back. Oh, this might be, the symbolism. If they're black, fight back. They're gonna fight back, just like Gwen Walz was saying. They're gonna fight back this. They're gonna live there. That's nice. And even if it's red, right? Yeah. Well, and also see which other I love me. Or in this case, well, that's why I told you that so many times that we have to check if we have flipped images. I love me or I love am would be if it was flipped. All right, that is nice. Taking care of yourself. All right, loving yourself. Oh, good doggy. It was a good doggy. And now we have the brown bear, double soul. Ella Emhoff. I guess that she sells these socks. I don't know. That is nice therapy. There's nice therapy. Hidden meanings. Yeah, they must have hidden meanings, especially the 8-ball. The 8-ball in a blue sky. Gonna just live in there. We're talking about. Oh my God! Trigger warning. I was zooming in. Involuntary. Some in of Hillary. Oh my God. Let's see what happens with Hillary. Hillary, what are you up to? We'll lose total control if social media stops censoring content. That's what it's all about, folks. They want social media to censor content. And that's why I need to talk about Facebook and something that happened to my Facebook page, which is not good at all. But first, let's listen to Hillary, which she is really hell-bent into censorship, and she knows one thing or two about the topic.
If the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
It's real harm. I don't know. That's like the movie Surrogates. You're going to be damaged physically because of something that comes out of your monitor or something that's your screen. I don't know how that works, but I know that trying to monitor misinformation starts by defining what misinformation is. And it starts by one organization or a group of individuals being the judges of misinformation, which is not going to work. But especially, have you seen Facebook? I need to talk about Facebook. We are going to be see the meltdown of CNN, MSNBC, and The View all calling for online censorship as they lose control. Watch it till the end. What happened here? I think
in a normal country, we would say, hold on a second, maybe we need to have a different set of regulations for social media platforms now that they're this big.
It would help if we...
Okay, they need a different set of regulations for social media platforms now that they are this big. You remember that they said Twitter was done the moment that Elon bought it and say that this is the end of Twitter. Like he's firing like 80% of the workforce. What is gonna Elon do? What is he doing? He doesn't have any idea what he's doing. I'm betting on Elon. Remember Peter Thiel's words. Never bet against Elon. You don't do that. You don't do that. It's that simple. And see what they have to say.
We could regulate social media because one of the biggest offenders is D.C. and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations of social media.
And then
this is exactly the same as just saying that, you cannot say whatever you think on the street. And you see that in some countries, like, in the UK, you cannot even pray silently because you will be detained. It's something that is baffling to know, but if we don't defend freedom of speech worldwide, is going to be under attack, and they don't want anybody to have this kind of power. I am like sort of building this kind of power. That's why one of the reasons I needed to sunset the body language guy and just become my own name right here. Why? Because I wanted to become a voice as well, and maybe the body language part was hindering myself a bit. but it's necessary. It's necessary nowadays, and I thank you for all the great and positive feedback. It has been 100. This is something baffling. I always post something on X or on YouTube, the community tab, and I always get like maybe 5% bad feedback or negative feedback, or trolls and haters. This time was 100% positive. It was amazing. So many of you, we're gonna follow you no matter where you go, how you are called and everything. I just want to make things simpler and make the Jesus Enrique Rosas show the hub for everything that is about freedom of speech.
And then moves them through YouTube videos, through podcasts, moves them from that annoyance all the way slowly to a full-blown fascist politic. We don't have the equivalent of Joe Rogan.
This is important. We need to talk about this.
And Jordan Peterson to move that man in a feminist direction.
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
Yeah, forgot that this clip was out there. But I want to nail it in the sense of having a equivalent of Joe Rogan for the left. They have lost the plot because Joe Rogan is essentially, he has been like up to 15 minutes ago a liberal. In fact, he doesn't push any politics on his own on his show. His show is literally just sitting down with people talking. It's that simple. There's no agenda. He's not pushing anything. I could say that I'm way more biased on my show than Joe Rogan, and he invites anybody. He just wants to hear anybody's take on any of these topics. Maybe we could talk about climate change, and he invites all the people that are pro and against climate change. That's a thing with Joe Rogan. It's not that he's pushing for anything political, and it so happens that he has grown a massive audience like that. I feel that I cannot have the same neutrality. I need to talk about what I think is the right thing to do. That is my take. Some people are more neutral. I could be a bit more rough in that regard. I need to have a stance, to make a stand for something. But it's not like you can build. Let's build a liberal Joe Rogan show. No. And I was making some, research on YouTube. And there are these channels. I don't remember the name now. I'm going to do the research maybe for tomorrow's show to mention them. I'm going to mention them. There are these liberal influencers with hundreds of millions of views, something that is baffling. And the comical thing is that neither Biden or Kamala at no point of their campaigns paid attention to them. These people have hundreds of millions of views on YouTube. They reach out to Biden's campaign and Kamala's campaign, and they did not pay attention to them. So it's kind of funny. And the other thing is that so many of you, I know that so many of you have stuck here, and I'm really grateful about that, is that we are not really pushing politics. I am not really pushing politics. I'm trying to talk about common sense. And when you see that, I'm not saying that Republicans are full of common sense. They can be quite crazy, especially the most extreme ones, in which I disagree with many topics with them. But when it comes to common sense, it's like when you go from the center to the left, it's like not much common sense in there. You speak, they speak, and it's nonsense. How can you build anything regarding a platform if you speak against common sense? Most people are against the trans agenda. That is a reality. There are polls about that, and Democrats want to deny it over and over again, and that's why they will fail. Now, I want to talk about Facebook in the sense that, You know, all these images that we have seen from Mark Zuckerberg, that he's a Chad, now he's cool and he wants to work with Donald Trump. And he said that Donald Trump raising his fist is the most brave and cool, and I don't know what was the word that he used, picture that he has seen in a while. But this is the reality. What happened to my Facebook page? The body language guy. Some of you remember that I had the body language guy page on Facebook, and 2 weeks ago it was suspended. Suspended in the sense that it was banned and hidden, and with absolutely zero way for me to. There's a word for that. I could not complain. You know that when you are banned or suspended, maybe you have ways to, complain about that or explain what your page was about. No. I did not have in the least. I'm going to look for that word because I want to be very clear about my experience. I had no opportunity whatsoever to claim anything. And I had 78,000 appeal. That is a word. I had zero possibility of appeal. No appeal was possible. I couldn't do anything about the page. I lost. I still have you here. 78,000 followers in there, of which like 75,000 were from the Depp versus Heard trial. And the only thing, you might be asking, Jesus, do you have an idea why Facebook suspended your page like that? I just did. You know that I was making these shows. We are on show number 16, so we have been like 2 weeks at this. And I was reposting the clips to my YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel was reposting those same clips or videos, 10-minute videos, to my Facebook page. YouTube, you know that YouTube is quite censorshipy, had zero issues with my clips. You remember that I was making the live streams on a test channel, the Power Pundit, which was not monetized, but I understand I was edgy on purpose to see how much I could push it. But the clean clips, the family-friendly clips, I brought that to my Body Language Guy channel back then. No problem. But in Facebook, I got suspended. I said, you know what? I have spent the past 2 years trying to make this work with Zuckerberg, trying to make this work with Facebook. I also had a page of my former body language page in Spanish that had 650,000 followers. I was essentially frozen, but because I was also talking about politics in there in Spanish, and the reach was laughable. I was throttled as there, and I said, you know what? I'm going to nuke the whole thing. I nuked the Body Language Guy page because I had no use for that. Sometimes you have a website or a page on Facebook because you want to squat the name. You don't want anybody else using the name of the page. Then you squat it. People can do it either way, many ways. You cannot do anything about that. You can just make sure that you direct people to your official sources. I deleted my Royal Rogue page as well. I had like 7,000 followers. So sadly, I had to do it. And I deleted my 650,000 page was essentially, and I deleted my Facebook account. I am not longer on Facebook. The only Meta product that I have right now is one Instagram account that I just left it. I'm not going to use it because the only way to use it, by the way, is to have a Facebook page because I cannot update that on my own. Now Facebook requires that you need to have a Facebook page to update Instagram business as a business. I'm not doing that. I am going to focus on YouTube, X, and Rumble, and goodbye, Facebook. I don't care what Zuckerberg says. I don't care what they promise. I don't care what they think that they're going to do. Maybe that's going to change, but the slop that is what Facebook turned into, the low quality, not only content, but say that the low quality environment was so bad that I decided this is the signal. This is the signal, and goodbye. Goodbye, Meta. Goodbye, Facebook. I'm not gonna lie, I had a great run many years ago. I had a great experience with Facebook back then. But the moment you begin to really speak your mind, you realize that, no, this just crumbles. This just crumbles. Too much Zuckerberg, that is true, Jenny. Yeah, too much Zuckerberg. We have to teach the Zuck a lesson. I'm gonna generate some subtitles here that I forgot to generate. But there is a current state. There's the current state of affairs. We have the social media. We have freedom of speech in some of them. And we could say that we have only freedom of speech on X. I can speak my mind. I know how to do it in YouTube, and YouTube is important because you know that YouTube is the platform for videos, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm still doing my show on Rumble as well, just in case. But I know that if I keep my satire up and running, if I keep my commentary the way that I've done it so far, nothing bad is gonna happen to us here. We're gonna be more than okay. Let's make sure that I generate some subtitles that I did not generate before starting the show. Yeah, there was no appeal possible. I couldn't do that. Facebook said, tough luck. You cannot do anything about your page. Your page is essentially the only thing that you can do about your page is to delete it. And so I did. YouTube blocked my comment. Yeah, it's also happens sometimes. Hopeable. Also happens sometimes. YouTube can be quite strict with the chat. Let me see your super chats, by the way. Oh, right. Jonathan Tay. Thank you, Jonathan. Hello from Australia. Glad to finally be able to join a live stream. You're welcome. This isn't 100,000 baht. No, but it is great. It is great. Your super chat helps a lot. Thank you, Jonathan. And Margie, super sticker. Thank you, Margie. Shiba dog rolling on the floor, laughing out loud. Thank you for being right here. And we can continue now with more nonsense from the media. Let's see. This is something that I need to process. I need to process what we're about to watch. This is the reason. This is the explanation. You're about to see the reason why there's not an Joe Rogan equivalent in the media, no, on the internet. Maybe there are Joe Rogan equivalents on YouTube. There's this guy that has a lot of views on YouTube, but the problem is that all those channels sort of appeal to liberal stances, and those liberal stances make no damn sense. It's like this.
There's this sense, right, that whiteness, right, is under threat. The demographic shifts. The country isn't what all of these racially ambiguous children on Cheerios commercials are confusing the hell out of me.
You see that we are just getting started, and there's so much nonsense already in the sense of that whiteness, well, at least in commercials, is under threat unless you are, you are announcing a drug for STDs. you're not gonna see whites on American commercials. It's something that it's a fact. And cisgender whites, oh no, please no, that's not gonna happen anytime soon.
A lot of people voted because their life's too damn expensive, and it was here, and it was.
They voted for. You're telling me, Stephanie, that all of these people who believe that their lives are, that bread is too high and eggs are too high, that they voted for a convicted fella.
This is the problem. That's what I tell you. She said something common sense. A lot of people voted because life was getting too expensive. It's that simple. That is common sense. That's what Joe Rogan would say. That's what I would say. But the liberals, the actual liberals,
a guy who said we can grab the pea.
I think that a lot.
They voted for this guy.
I'm not defending it, but I think there are tons of people that don't pay attention to, and I'm not defending it, don't pay attention to politics at all. But while we live in the most prosperous country in the world, people are saying life's not fair. I'm not doing well. My son's still living in the basement. I can't seem to get a job.
These are the real issues. But I told you that people are not. Most people, you know what's funny? That in Google Trends is the statistics, the graph that tells you what is people searching on the internet at any given time. The day of the elections, you know what search was trending on Google? Did Joe Biden drop out of the presidential race? I wish I was making this up. Did Joe Biden drop out of the presidential race? So many people are just disconnected. They really don't care about politics. They can barely try to scrape by with 2 or even 3 jobs to pay the bills. They don't care about politics. Okay, maybe we're gonna vote, and all of a sudden, what happened? Joe Biden is not there. I wish I was making this up. It can happen. So you have to, use some kind of common sense and say that people are going to vote in regards of what are their immediate threats, immediate problems and issues. That is the common sense. That's how you craft an effective campaign. That's why Trump, on that debate with Kamala Harris, he nailed 2 things, just 2 things: immigrations and economy. That's it. That's all. Every single topic, he brought that back to those 2 topics because he knew that there were the two levels, the 2 dimensions more closest to the American people.
I don't like the status quo. I'm voting for something else, and he.
I love you to life.
I love you,
but I do not believe that.
I do not believe that, and he has that body language moment. He has that contempt in his face that, man, you have so much contempt for your friend that you love so much. You love her so much, but still, that's contempt. That's contempt, bro.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, these people are delusional. I really would like to know, since they are so much against common sense, are the people faking it, or are these people so delusional? As in actually so delusional? I would like to know. Maybe he's faking it. Maybe he's faking it.
And the reason I think you believe it is because you don't want to believe that that's what's really motivating them. It's always the case. People don't want to believe what the country actually is.
I don't want to believe that you actually believe this, man. I want to give you, as a shadow of doubt. I want to give you an opportunity. This cannot be this level of mental illness that you're actually speaking like
because
this.
If they believe it, they're going to have to confront what's in them. I don't believe that. They voted for a crook, a person who they know is stealing from, just doing everything to undermine the so-called country that they love. And then they're telling us the BS that it's economics.
We cannot see it due to the quality of the video, but I'm sure that he spit all over the table. I'm pretty sure of that. But then I remember all those reactions of people having these mental breakdowns in front of their TikTok cameras, and I remember, oh yes, this is a real thing. I mean, these people are unhinged in this way. The only difference is that some are on TikTok and some are on the mainstream media giving their opinion. And now this is a CNN panelist loses his mind when another panelist says Americans don't believe men should be able to play women's sports, says arguments is transphobia. These people are insane. This is one of the topics. This is the topic that I'm telling you that most Democrats we're against. Most Democrats do not, I repeat, do not support the trans agenda and men's in women's restrooms and men's in women's sports. They don't like that. And I don't know if that's part of the DEI or the anti-transphobic thing. I don't know. I lost track of that. I saw even a new acronym today and I was dumbfounded. I was confused. What did that mean?
I think there are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports. They're not.
All right, man. You're talking common sense. There are many families out there that don't want boys playing in girls' sports. Oh, God, that is savage. That is. Oh man, did you go full? Did you go full right wing? Are you a MAGA crazy?
Boys, I'm not going to listen to transphobia.
I'm not gonna listen to transphobia. No, I'm not gonna listen to that. And you can see that physiognomy never failed. Physiognomy, the study of how a person looks, he fits the bill to a T of someone who says, I'm not gonna talk transphobia, but this lady is she wants to say something. She wants to agree, but she's thinking, oh my God, if I agree, my job will be in danger. What do I do? Should I agree with him? She wants to agree. She doesn't want men in restrooms as well. And this, oh my God, this, how to say that, artificial or I don't know, joke of a man. So, oh no, the transphobia.
I am not going to listen to you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur.
He's not letting him speak. He's not even letting him speak. He cannot let him speak.
I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's reset for a second because, look, this is a really heated issue, right? And Michael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, let's try to talk about this in a way that is respectful.
What? He just said, he literally just said, some families do not agree with boys playing in girls' sports. How can you be more respectful? I guess. I understand. Being respectful in this case is they don't want girls playing in girls' sports or trans girls playing. But we cannot say trans girls because trans girls are girls, right? Trans women are women. We cannot say that. That's being transphobic. You have to be more polite, even more polite. Do better. Just do better. Just go ahead. Let's see what is his reply to this.
Okay, so let me rephrase this.
And he's getting it. He's getting it. I mean, how can I? Let's see what he says. But how can I rephrase this in a way that these people don't get so upset and unhinged?
I'm being targeted here.
I don't. Just to be clear, you are not being targeted.
I am.
You are not being targeted. You're not being targeted. No.
Okay. I'm specifically saying that I know that you are not intending to be transphobic.
He should know that I'm not. He wants to sit here and bloviate.
I'm saying you're using a phrase.
This is the problem. This is the issue. You can have billions of dollars pushing this. The common sense people, anybody with half a brain is going to listen to this and going to say, what are you talking about? I'm torturing you. I know that you won't watch it without my reaction. I'm losing IQ by the second here. I'm investing IQ, neurons, neuron connection. By the second, losing them, listen to this, because I know that neither you or I would watch it under normal conditions because we are common sense people. That's all. It's not a matter of, oh, you're right wing, you're left wing. It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of having common sense.
Give you an opportunity.
So the way regular
That's
people
not-
interpret it,
That's not
which is why
regular
those
people.
ads were
That's not
effective.
regular people. There's no consensus that these are actually boys. This whole thing about trans girls is a canard. We're talking about a tiny, tiny sliver of the population.
That may be the
and we're
case,
using
but
that
my point in
to
terms
take
of
away
its
healthcare from
effectiveness.
thousands of people.
Hold on.
When he says a tiny, tiny sliver of the population, he means what? Trans girls or the people who call them boys, which they are?
Just get to your point.
My point in terms of
Yes, I'm losing brain cells. Thank you for pointing that
its
out.
effectiveness. Regular people with children look at these things and they say, you know what, this is a bit too far.
By the way, I don't like you, man, calling us regular people. It's just people. It's not like regular people. What is regular people? What is not non-regular people? It's like that cisgender. No, man. Do not call us regular people. We are anything but regular.
I do not agree with this. I don't like this. I think Democrats are going way too much to the left on social issues. They're uncomfortable with it. A lot of people believe that. A lot of families believe that. You may disagree with that reality, but that's why Republicans kept running those ads over and over and over again, because they saw the metrics suggested that they were.
You see that the guy, I've told you that sometimes difficult, but the guy with the glasses is breathing deeply. He's trying to control himself because he's so upset. These people are insane. These people are effectively insane. I take that back. They are not pretending. They are effectively insane.
Those ads over and over again and using rhetoric like you just used, saying this is boys playing girls sports. First of all, we're talking about 5 people in the entire country.
What is the language? How do we address this? Okay, I don't know how to address this. Tell me, how do we address what regular people are saying? Because, well, regular people, whatever that means, they're effectively saying that.
We're talking about trans girls being allowed to play with.
You're gonna cry now? You're gonna cry?
People who are in their gender, and if you don't believe, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association.
The American Medical Association.
This is not about the
Guys, just
this
one
is
second.
this is
I mean, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I started these shows, and I had a script. I usually had to write my shows, and I had a script with a teleprompter. At some point, like back in August 14th to be exact, I just dropped much earlier than that. I dropped any scripts and I began to do all my shows and all my videos without a script, just going for it. I think I was ready. I'm doing this and have zero script. I still have my teleprompter installed in front of me, but I have nothing in there. At some point it said, maybe my English has become better, my pronunciation, I don't say determine anymore, thank God for that. But maybe the next step is not only being able to, improvise and being ad-libbing all these jokes and remarks and all the stuff. Maybe at some point I can debate people. I think that is the highest level. And you can actually debate ideas in English. I could debate ideas in Spanish. It would be quite easy for me, but English is a different thing because it's not my first language. But there's one thing. No matter how good I become at English, no matter how good I become at debating, maybe I can polish my debating abilities. Maybe I can dedicate to that. props to people like Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro, who do that without losing, without flinching. That is just awesome. I wish I can reach to that level. Maybe I practice enough. But very different is to debate people who are delusional and unhinged. This is delusional and unhinged. No matter how much English I know, no matter how I can address my ideas and address their ideas in my counter arguments, that would be fruitless. I would not spend waste my time with that. And I am not saying that, of course, I'm not going to change their minds, and they are not going to change my mind either. Even so, I'm willing to listen to arguments, because sometimes you have to be very careful about that. People that you don't like say common sense things, and you say, okay, we agree with this, and this is the point, and we agree on. And we were talking about unity. Donald Trump knows that unity is very important to build the United States or rebuild the United States. We need to talk about unity, and we need to start of what is the common ground. What do we agree on? Vivek Ramaswamy is great at getting that straight. He's also a brutal debater. The guy is a legend debating, has all the patience in the world. I wish I had his patience as well. But you need to find that common ground. But if there's no common ground, and they don't want to have any common ground, if they come in bad faith, there's no debate, there's no argument, there's no way. They are in this bubble, and that's why I tell you, no matter what happens, they will still lose elections, and they're gonna double down in their identity politics. They're gonna double down in whatever they think is working for them, and they know they can't even acknowledge that it didn't work this time. They can't acknowledge their own polls. No, we need to push this. This is the right thing to do. But it's delusional. It's insane. It's against common sense, and whatever is against common sense is going eventually to lose. Because that's how so many people watch videos of Trump. Actually, with the Very Fine People hoax, for example, they watch the 4-minute video and they realize, whoa, I've been lied all this time. Or they are pro men in women's restrooms until they actually meet a man at the restroom and they don't like the experience. That could happen, and maybe at that point they can change. But no, I wouldn't be able to debate with these people. It's something simply not possible. Simply not possible. Well, let's watch this video before we move on to today's topics. Oh my God, we are more than 1 hour on today's show and we haven't addressed today's topics. These are the kind of things that I can allow myself to, improvise a bit. But I wanted to show you because we move into today's topics. I wanted to show you this celebration, this football celebration, and let's see if you can spot where the celebration comes from. You got that one right. Tell me, Tim. Tell me in the comments. You're gonna keep an eye on your comments and tell me. Keep an eye on your comments. We're gonna be talking about this guy. We're gonna be talking about. Let me see. Just make a quick pause. Drink water. You got that right, Reagan. The lady at the Olympics. Yeah. The lady that made sure to take down all the videos mocking her. And that even backfired. that backfired. But it's time. It's time to talk about the real deal. Tom Homan. Trump appoints former ICE director and Project 2025 author Tom Homan as the border czar, overseeing all U.S. border security and deportations of illegal immigrants. I'm pleased to announce that the former ICE director, and stalwart and border to control Tom Homan will be joining the Trump administration. This is big news. That's something that we have been talking about. I even made a video for any country that wants to listen how governments use illegal immigration to control you. That is still on my YouTube, still on this YouTube channel, in the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel. You can look for it, how governments use illegal immigration to control you. Something that I know I have a very strong stance. I know that I'm right about many topics. I could debate people on that topic, maybe in English, who knows. But this is the guy that we were talking about. This is the guy that we are talking about, and this guy is nothing short of savage.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Oh, that was so savage. Oh, and all the so many people complaining about this. Oh, that is heartless. How is it possible? And I stumbled upon, I tweeted, the cold savagery is off the charts. I don't know who the guy is, but I already like him. I didn't know his name back then. I didn't know who he was, but upon watching that clip, I was sold. This is the guy. And then I had this lovely reply from the Party of Joy. Of course you like him, you POS Latino man. Of course you like him. You POS. This is so lovely. This is why I tell you, when they reach out to me, they don't seem like people that you could have an actual conversation with. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We also have this video that's making the rounds from the parody of Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is a circus. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me. This guy is zero. I mean, he gives 0 Fs. He gives 0 Fs. I'm going to play from this forward.
We increase the...
There's a problem in here with the audio. I'm going to try to put it... Okay, it's going to be... You're listening better?
Time of one witness, one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer.
He doesn't care about your tiny hammer. You work for me. You work for me. I'm a taxpayer.
I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
He gives 0 Fs. I mean, that's what someone was saying about, now when we talk about physiognomy, is that this guy had the build of someone who can, like 2,000 years ago, maybe he would be crushing hats, okay, with his bare hands. He looks the part. He absolutely 100% looks the part. He would enforce borders with his own hands, maybe the occasional axe. That fits his personality. And we also have this. I think it was the same. Oh, this was the same clip. This is another clip that people were playing. President Trump selects former ICE director Tom Homan as border czar, and he was saying this. People were freaking out with this clip as well. This is gonna be so
Hey, look,
good.
they gave me 5 minutes to say a few things, so if I offend anybody tonight, I don't give a shit. How many pounds of fentanyl didn't make it in this country to kill Americans? How many known suspected terrorists didn't make it in the country? How many billions of dollars did the cartels make? President Trump is one badass president. He secured the border at a level we've never seen before.
Yeah, this guy is the one who's gonna do the job right. They're saying that deporting one single person is gonna cost like $100,000. That was this account Jason on X was saying. I don't know where did he get that quote, but I don't know if it did the Kamala campaign make that quote. I don't know. 100,000 for one person. I don't know. That sounds like a lot. It should be a lot less.
And I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that's been released into the United States under this administration. Don't get too comfortable. We're going to need some help. Do I have any volunteers that want to come back and help run the biggest deportation operation in the history of this nation?
This is gonna be what I tell you. Donald Trump becoming the 47th president of the United States. It's gonna be an example in many ways for the world. In this case, for Europe, because if they manage to pull this off, and they managed to do it in a way that is can be adapted to other countries, then the other countries would not have much of an option of saying, hey, no, we cannot do that. No, yeah, the United States did it, so maybe other countries can jump into the bandwagon. The hardest part is, the humanity reasons, but they're gonna start with the criminals. That's for sure.
In January of 25, the greatest president of my lifetime walking back in the White House. He tells me we got, I say 120 days. He says, no, you got 60 to lock the border down. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I told the president. He comes back, I come back, we fix this shit.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we need. No nonsense. This is Tom Homan, President Trump's border czar. His message to all the illegals who cross the border will give you goosebumps. You better start packing now, because you are going home. It's that simple. See?
I got a message. As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens.
Okay, he's got some experience. 34 years deporting people.
I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. You're damn right. Because you're going home.
This is the part that I see so many trigger people, Latinos, of course, on Twitter, saying that, but every single legal immigrant was illegal at some point. And I say, that's what I tell you. When someone says something like that, I already know that they have no idea what they're talking about, or they are coming in bad faith. That's not true. That is simply not true. You could have entered or become a legal resident of the United States through all the options, because there are more like 10 options or something like that. If you want to become a resident of the United States, you can do it through the legal ways. There's so many legal ways. I could apply for, I know that people that are influencers or YouTubers, I could do that as well. Yeah, I could 100% at this point. Hey, you know what? I'm a huge influencer for the American community, and I can prove that I have, the viewership. Oh yeah, come here. We're gonna grant you first 1 year, then 2 years. I don't know. There's I think this is the O1 visa, but don't believe me. I don't remember exactly, but there are so many legal ways. But you will see so many Latinos. Oh, this is inhuman, because every single legal immigrant was illegal at some point. No, that doesn't work like that. That is simply not true.
I got another message.
Oh,
another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
I want to see terrorist organizations glassed. I love that word. I don't know. Glassed. It's so beautiful. Meet our new border czar, Tom Homan, and now he's eating AOC alive.
3 different options presented.
It's probably the volume. Yes.
The third included the option for family separation. This initiative would pursue prosecution of all amenable adults, including those presenting with a family unit. Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy.
I am not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo.
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
You know, the issue here, the solution here is to build the actual wall and to make sure that nobody, whether on purpose or accidentally, crosses the southern border. It's that simple. You don't want the illegal crossings happening in the first place, because after the illegal crossings happen, there's a myriad of law issues, for example, of legal issues. For example, if one of the parents or both parents are, in this case, illegals, they are committing a crime. It's like a crime. You're entering a country by illegal means, and you're doing it with children, and it's just a mess. By the way, if you do that because you want to give your children a better future, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about. Countries have to be very careful with this kind of, because this is also gaslighting. Because I'm going to speak in a way, and talk about this in a way that the only reason a country will be allowing a certain number of illegal, because a country should not let anybody in illegally. There should be countermeasures to not let anybody enter illegally. If a country lets anybody in, has to be through legal ways. All right? If you try to, do something illegal, you're out. It's that simple. You're out and you're banned for life. It's that simple. And so much money invested in making this work for so many people trying to cross the southern border. Now that we are in Veterans Day, don't veterans deserve more that money? Veterans deserve that money. Homeless people deserve that money. The American people, the American citizens deserve that money. This applies to any country in the world. The citizens of a country, whether it's veterans or homeless people or the regular citizens, they are the ones who need all these benefits, not illegal immigrants. It's like letting people in, and all these taxes, all this taxpayer money is spent on hosting and giving all these amenities to illegals, which it's not a good thing. Maybe it's the humane thing to do, but if we're going to talk about humanity and being a humanitarian, you have to focus on your people first, on your citizens, on your veterans, on your homeless. That's what makes sense. But so many governments, such as California, news come, that's with you, they won't do it. And we already know what is their plan, why they won't do it.
And so the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which
he recommended zero tolerance, and zero tolerance implies family separation. What AOC, this is a kind of manipulation. Zero tolerance implies that if the parents committed a crime, okay, they will be separated. I don't know how that works. I really would like to drive this point home, that if you prevent people from crossing the border illegally, you will solve all these problems in the first place. Do not let them cross. It's that simple. And AOC is trying to humanize the problem, put a face on that. Families, you're separating families. You're separating families. No, we are preserving the safety of the United States. We are preserving the safety of the UK. We are preserving the safety of France, of Switzerland, of Germany. It doesn't matter which country, it applies the same. Oh, you are separated. You're being inhuman with this family. No. We are focused on the safety of our citizens. This should be the focus of this initiative. But this, leftists, they want to, oh, you're so human. You are separating families.
which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
The law applies to anybody. He said that. This is nice. The same as it whenever a U.S. citizen.
With every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
The families are separated. If you commit a crime, then you're separated from your child. Something that is in the law. Silence.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
All that she can do is repeat the same thing again. This is why you understand that Kamala could only repeat things, and I've never been to Europe.
Get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his family.
Mr. Homan, with all due respect.
What's she going to answer now?
Legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
Notice the words. Legal asylees. Legal asylees. I mean, for someone to be a legal asylee, you have to apply for that, right? I guess that they apply for that after they are in the United States. So my question is, how did they enter the United States? And at some point I thought about moving to the United States. And I remember that one of the things about immigration policy is that so many of the processes, for example, if you were asking for a student visa, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a specialist, but you cannot start the process of getting a student visa while being inside of the country. You have to do it back in any embassy or in any embassy all over the world, U.S. embassy. So many of these processes have to be started outside of the country. So you have your papers, your legal papers. You are green-lighted of entering the country on that visa before you enter the country. Something that's how it works, because you don't want people dealing with that while being inside the country. But of course, you're gonna tell me, "Wow, Jesus, but so many people enter via like tourists, and then they overstay their tourist visa." That is illegal. You're essentially an illegal, and you're trying to game the system of the United States so you can stay in some way. I'm not going to lie. So I have so many friends, very close friends, that have done this, and I'm still going to tell them, you are part of the problem still. You're still part of the problem. I can't tell you anything else. But yes, if you enter a country by illegal means, you are committing a crime. And depending on the country, try to do it with other countries. I'm not going to mention it. It's not going to end well for you.
Legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you enter the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
All right, this guy, I already like this guy. I like this guy even more.
Country illegally is violation 8 United States.
He said illegally, the captions are
Country
wrong.
illegally is violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry.
If you want to seek asylum, you go to the port of entry. You know what a port of entry is?
Do it the legal way.
Do it the legal way.
The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay. Mr. Chair, the
Shut up. Shut up. You have been shut up. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you have been destroyed. All your arguments are invalid. You have been, well, reduced to nothing. Nothing. I'm going to be talking about this. I told you that this show was going to be a bit longish. Let me highlight your comments. Your comments have been so amazing. So we need to talk about a bit more. I have the idea that you don't want to live. Let's talk about this. I'm going to talk about you don't want to leave, right? You want me to continue. I really wanted to be live. There's so much content because I wasn't live in the past couple days over the weekend. I wanted to do long lives, 2-hour lives over the weekend. Maybe, most probably, I will do it the upcoming weekend. I was not feeling well. But right now, we have so much content that we're going to stay. We have to talk about the World Health Organization and what Trump wants to do. First, we're going to be addressing Dr. Tedros. And we're going to be addressing something that Dr. Tedros said, which is quite that they never forced anybody. They never forced anybody to do anything. He said the World Health Organization never imposed anything to nobody during the pandemic. Let's see. Let's watch him. Let's watch him saying this in his own words, his own voice.
WHO did not impose anything on anyone during the COVID-19 pandemic.
He said that. No, maybe, all right, maybe the WHO did not, but governments advised and pushed and, well, you know, I would not say that manipulated by WHO because the governments wanted to do this. They wanted to do it. They pushed this onto so many people. Don't get me started with the details.
Not lockdowns, not mask mandates, not vaccine mandates.
It's the level of hypocrisy is real. The level of hypocrisy is real. I wish that, oh, maybe there was a comment out of context. No, he is saying it literally. The WHO did not push any of this.
We don't have the power to do that. We don't want it, and we're not trying to get it.
No, but you, let's say that you suggested it, and all these criminal governments followed suit.
Our job is to support governments with evidence-based guidance.
Evidence-based guidance. How that evidence-based guidance went with the masks? That's my question.
Advice, and when needed, supplies to help them protect their people.
Well, one thing I know is if you were an investor in any company that made masks, you made a killing. Sorry for the word, no pun intended. Breaking: Trump will terminate relationship with the WHO.
World Health Organization has become nothing more than a corrupt globalist scam paid for by the United States but owned and controlled by China.
China, remember the debate? I think it was the debate with Biden. Every time Trump says China, we're gonna have a shot
When the China virus reached our shores 3 years ago, the World Health Organization disgracefully covered the tracks of the Chinese Communist Party every single step of the way.
Well, you wrote that, but Anthony Fauci, how is Anthony Fauci a free man? That guy should be behind bars.
For this reason, it was my great honor to terminate America's relationship with the World Health Organization. The United States was paying the World Health Organization almost $500 million a year. When I dropped out, I took it out of there. And for 330 million people, even though China was paying only $40 million for 1.4 billion people.
Because you know how these things work. Corruption.
So we had 330, they have 1.4, and we're paying more than 10 times the amount. That's typical for the United States because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Unfortunately, crooked Joe Biden foolishly re-entered the World Health Organization at the full price and without any negotiations or reforms.
I need to try to put in perspective all the money that taxpayers have paid for all the nonsense and all the wars in the world that could have been prevented. And all the money has been bled out of America. All that could have been done with that money and those resources.
And now Biden is pushing to bypass the United States Senate to enter a pandemic treaty that would surrender American sovereignty to the World Health Organization, again controlled by China. The draft treaty would require the United States to send vast quantities of medical supplies to other countries in the event of another pandemic, and it would push aggressive censorship of free speech on issues of public health, just like they censored the truth about the Wuhan lab, which I said that's where it came from, remember?
Yeah, it came from the Wuhan lab. And remember who was, pushing this experiment? Dr. Fauci?
Under the next Trump administration, that treaty will be immediately terminated. I would not allow public health to be used as a pretext to advance the march of global government. That's what they're doing, globalists. The United States will withdraw from the corrupt World Health Organization, which, in light of its utter failure on COVID, they had a tremendous disaster on COVID.
That was a disaster. I have no words. I really hope that humanity learned the lesson. Of course, there's a part of the population that never really recovered from that, but I'm pretty sure that there's a huge chunk, the majority of the population would not tolerate this to happen again, for this to happen again. This is my sincere hope.
Deserves to be completely abolished and replaced. Then I will work to forge a new coalition of nations that are strongly committed to protecting health while also upholding sovereignty and freedom. I want to thank you very much, but I also want to say this. I could have renegotiated the deal. I could have gone into the World Health Organization for $25 million. Biden didn't take that deal. He's paying almost $500 million.
Of course, if you are sending medical supplies to other countries, it means that you have a business with the companies that make those medical supplies. That benefits, in the end, benefits people. Everybody makes a business out of anything. And the idea is to, use that money, use those resources to benefit the United States, not pledge this allegiance to a corrupt organization.
We're so anxious to get the United States back after I terminated the agreement. They were so anxious to get it back that they offered me a deal, $25 to $30 million. And I said, no, I'll wait. Could have gotten it for less, but I didn't want less at that point. We were paying almost $500 million. Could have done it for $25 to $30. Biden took the $500 million deal.
Yeah, you can imagine. So sometimes you know that we joke about Biden in this show, but it's Biden has done so many awful things worldwide, not only for the United States, that it's it's harsh not to judge the guy. We can make jokes, we can make memes, but I know that history will judge him the right way. Now we have this. We were talking about censorship in social media, and this is way more important, I think. This is something that Donald Trump was having some remarks about censorship. I think this is the clip. I'm going to play it so we go along.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case.
I would like to know how this is going to work with platforms like Facebook. Is it that you're going to tell them, hey, you can just allow whatever your users want to share, want to say, their political opinions? Maybe I could at some point consider coming back to Facebook if that is enforced, but I still don't see how these people, Zuckerberg, would have the means to monitor all that. He would not be comfortable. He would not be comfortable, even if the government tells him, hey, you can just let people express themselves. I don't think that he's going to do it, because the censorship also helps you have command of the app, command of the platform, control what people say, so you don't get into trouble. Because that is what Elon has done on X. He has gotten into trouble all these countries, such as Brazil, in the sense that they wanted to censor the app and wanted to pressure Elon into doing this, and he said no. And well, he had Disney grade attorneys, so that helps. I don't think that Zuckerberg wants to go through that burden.
Because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens.
Imagine the outrage of that. No three-letter agency would be able to censor or intervene or claim that this is misinformation. No, that it would be this would be massive. I think it was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. who said that this only grants Donald Trump Mount Rushmore status.
I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses.
the outreach of this is massive. But this is not simple that you will be able to say whatever you want on Facebook or X or Snapchat or whatever. This is something that will rattle all this system to its very core if it's implemented this way. It's going to be massive.
To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my
They're putting the CDs in the microwave and turning it on.
Operation as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech.
That. Tell me if that is not common sense. Now, it would be interesting. We were talking about debate. It would be interesting if someone could debate against this. What is the argument against this? What are the cons of what Trump is proposing? Then anybody would be able to spread mis and disinformation. Well, for example, X has community notes, and when people can correct information and give you actual information or actual resources or the actual links that prove or disprove what someone is saying. Maybe someone with 10 followers says something outrageous, nobody pays attention, but someone with 1 million followers says it, then you're going to have more eyes onto them and have maybe community notes on Facebook so you can be corrected and notice that whatever you're saying, maybe pro Kamala or pro Biden or against Donald Trump or against Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know, is going to be corrected. It's going to be community noted. That could be an option.
Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more.
That's also what's going on, that you see all this actual research being done, people that want to express their ideas and express the results of their research, and no, you have this throttling of new ideas and new research because optics, and you cannot say that, and this is gonna be just massive. I mean, when it comes down to information, Trump is essentially removing the judges of what is dis and misinformation. Like, this should not exist. You should be able to, as long as it is approved, as long as maybe you have the right to free speech, right? And talk about your research and talk about your opinions. And yes, maybe you can claim that the earth is flat or that we did not land on the moon. Okay, that's okay. People are going to fact check you either way. But this is going to, I don't know what's going to be bigger. If the big food thing or big pharma thing or big censorship thing or all three at the same time, it's going to be massive.
We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year cooling off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data.
Imagine that. That is so massive that there's essentially dismantling. You will be able to just message people freely.
Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation.
Thank you. It's like I got my Facebook page suspended with any possibility of appeal. I want to know why. No, there's no explanation. I don't deserve any explanation according to Facebook. Well, F you, Facebook. It's as simple as that.
Of the reason why and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we will begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Now imagine that we were talking about censorship. We were talking about this people, for example, CNN or MSNBC pushing, or The View, pushing for more censorship, pushing for control of the media. Hillary Clinton said that it has to be controlled in some way. There has to be more controls, and Trump is going to blow all that up. What do you think about this? I would like to know. This is something that can leave anybody speechless. This is something, and this is a sneak in here. It's interesting that the states that Kamala Harris won, you don't need any ID requirement. What a coincidence, right? It's so strange. I don't know. Such a strange coincidence. Let me see. Let me make a short break. I think you want to stay here. I can go. I'll still go. Why not? Can continue. Just amazing. There are a couple more things here. Let me see. A couple. There was more content I wanted to talk about. I think I'm going to leave this because I don't want to to push my voice beyond 2 hours, because we have a show tomorrow, and we will have a show tomorrow. Maybe we can have a 2-hour show tomorrow as well. But well, this was show number what? 16. Jesus Enrique Rosa's show. Samantha, Jesus, we love you. Thank you for losing brain cells with us. We know it hurts. Yeah, I do it. I do it for you. I do it for you, Samantha. So the row, Trump recorded it in 2022, but it's good. It's a good reminder of this. It's good to remember. It's good to remember this because back then people say, "Oh, but why do you think he's gonna be president again? Is it gonna be possible? Are we gonna see it? Are we gonna see Trump becoming the 47th president of the United States? Is it gonna be a thing?" And now we see it's a reality for us, for everybody in the world. So it's we need to take into account everything that Trump has said, because well, it will be nice that first day, already with this guy, Tom Homan, only with the Homan, well, only with him, if what he claims he's going to do is it's just half of it, is gonna be just awesome. But again, how much time do we have? We have like 1 minute until 2 hours. But well, my body language buddies, remember that I got many links on. I have to make some breaks. I have to deal with it. I have to, make a even better show for you. And usually this show is gonna be running for 1 hour. Today was 2 hours. It's so much content. Remember to download my free body language tips in the description of this video. They're absolutely free, and you will be subscribed to my email list. You can also have my body language in 40 days book. You can get it in there, and we'll also access to my locals account. Some of you were asking me about my royal commentary. Royal commentary is coming. I had a topic for today. Maybe I will do it a bit later, or maybe I will record it in tomorrow's show. But we got to almost 2 hours today. I think it's nice. My energy is nice, but I'm going to manage my energy levels to give you maybe every day. I say weekdays, but I want to do it in weekends as well. You're going to tell me, Jesus, you have to rest. But this is like play to me. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy just talking about what is going on in the world with you. And I'm sure that I will be doing this for a long time. Thank you for being here, my body language buddies. My body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and until we meet tomorrow in Jesus Enrique Rosas show number 17, remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.